Let's create our PLU file. This file represents the sale item. We can create and manage our PLUs here in Pilot Admin, or we can access the PLU menu through the Manager menu in Pilot POS. It is this file that would need to be in place before linking any newly created prep items created prior. If no prep item is linked to your PLU file, the sale will be reported on, but no prep stock will be deducted. To create a PLU file in Pilot Admin, select File, then PLU Items. Let's discuss what we see first before we create a new PLU file. The column here displaying stars indicate that you have the option to manage your PLU files by hiding and unhiding selected items. If you are part of a group and your dataset is locked and controlled by your data management team, this will be the extent of control you can exercise to manage your PLU file. If you hide a PLU file here and the file was linked to your touch screens, it will no longer be available to order from your screens. If you see any PLU files highlighted blue, these represent local PLU items that you have access to make changes to within a controlled dataset. Now we have the PLU name that follows, which is the name for the sale item that will reflect and print on the proforma. PLU code, giving a position to the PLU file and serving as another way to identify the PLU you are looking for. Price being the retail price to charge, points and commission to allocate incentives to, printer to allocate which section printer the PLU file needs to print to, tax to indicate if an item is non-taxable or not, and department to indicate which sale department the item pulls to. You can create new PLUs by clicking here. Edit existing PLUs, delete PLUs, though we advise doing this with caution as this can and will affect reporting. Find to quick search and print to select various reports regarding your PLU file. When selecting DEPT, you gain access to the management of your sale departments. These need to be set up first before moving on to creating PLU files, as this is a crucial field to complete in the PLU creation process. We will look into the management of these departments in our PLU sale department tutorial. Select Link to link and manage prep links, and PLU limit to set up PLU limits and restrict sale quantities. Let's create a new PLU item. Before doing this, we need to ensure we know where this PLU will go. We need to look at the existing PLU code range and find a gap within that range so we can allocate a new code that is not in use already. For example, if we are adding a new soft beverage, search for an existing PLU file similar to what is being created. When quick searching and you do not find the relevant item being searched, remember that it could be hidden and thus will not display. You can then tick the Show Hidden Item box and retry your search. When searching Coke, we have a few options here. By looking at the departments, we can determine which one to select. The Bev department will suggest a straightforward PLU file option to click and select from your touchscreen. The Modify department suggests order options or modifications to an order already selected to give instruction to the order being placed. When double-clicking on the item, the system will jump to that PLU file. Check the code range and decide on a new code. Click New. When entering a code, if you enter a code in use, the system will indicate this. Punch your new code and continue to give it a PLU name. This name will reflect on your proforma. Be certain of spelling and information given here, for example, drink size, etc. Enter the retail price here. If you enter a special price, the PLU file will be sold at this price during the trade hours selected in special mode within Pilot POS. This is not related to our campaign manager in Pilot Admin, where you can create and manage specials with great detail. This is a very basic special setup, and when running, all PLUs with special prices will be sold at their special rate. Now indicate what department the sale should be allocated to. The unit cost can be entered if no PLU costings are in place yet. When the costings are eventually inputted, the system will update the manual cost entered here. If there are no PLU costings, then this field will not update. Unit, to indicate unit of measure the PLU is being sold at. Comp percentage and points are to allocate incentives to. This means the waiter could earn X amount of commission from a sale made or earn X amount of points. You can then report on the points and commission earned and reward the waiter accordingly. A tax code will be predetermined unless changed here. Touch group can be indicated if you need this PLU to be added to an existing group of PLUs. When clicking on the PLU button, the range of PLUs will appear that are all dedicated to the same group. This can also be edited in the Touch Design menu. If this PLU file needs to be allocated to a specific set menu group, select the group here. If you would like to see how many main meals were sold and make use of the main meal comparatives report, you will need to set up the meal types prior in Pilot Admin and assign a PLU to a meal type accordingly. Indicate the quantity main meals sold per PLU. For example, this would be 1 if this was sold as a main meal. If I was selling a platter for 3, I would increase the multiplier to 3. You can then add a preparation time and a tar weight here if the items call for it. If you are selling by weight, you will need to tick the Allow Decimal Sale box here and then enter a price per kilo weight here. The system will then allow you to ring up the exact weight and charge accordingly. If the item is out of stock, you can block sales by ticking Out of Stock. Insist on management authorization if you need a manager to authorize the sale with their fingerprint or authorization code before the waiter can put the order through. If the business supports a charity, you can create that charity as a PLU with the nominal price or leave the price field empty so the customer can choose how much to donate. This will not reflect as turnover but will be accounted for on the waiter and admin cash apps. You can then pull a separate donations report to send to the tax authorities and account for monies owed to the charity. The Apply Minimum Price rule is applicable to PLUs using the Add Remove function. If a customer removes so many items from the PLU that whatever they add still doesn't bring the price back or exceed the original selling price, it will charge the original selling price regardless of the total value being removed. So the business won't lose money on the sale. You can indicate the section printer this PLU should print at by ticking the boxes here. B printers are for the bar sections, K for kitchen, and L for local printing. The KDS refers to our kitchen displays, and if the item is descriptive, you can tick this box and it will follow the PLU rung up prior and print below it. If your business is using sub-brands, you can select which brand this PLU should link to here. If you want this PLU to only be available on certain days and/or times, you can continue to edit these details in the Available Times tab. If a voucher is required for this PLU item, you can click on Voucher and enter the details as needed. Click OK when done. You can add more notes on this item here by clicking Edit or Delete Existing Notes. These notes are available to see when clicking on the Info icon in the order screen and selecting the PLU from the touchscreen. Now, when our PLU file is created, proceed to link the prep stock if required. We won't link all ingredients to the PLU file being sold. The link here refers to the prep link, a link or communication between the PLU file sold and the prep item being counted daily on our prep sheet. If the prep sheet setup details are correct and the PLU file is in place, click Add. Search for the prep item and double-click to link. You can then change the factor or quantity sold if required. If you add a prep item and the system displays a blank box after double-clicking, then you can be certain that the prep sheet setup for that item has not been completed. Complete the setup before returning and retrying to link it to our sale item. Your PLU file is now ready for use. Continue to set up costings or move forward to Touch Design to complete your screen setup.